What up, fam? It's your girl Des coming to y'all today real quick. Talk to y'all about why I've been MIA for a little bit, but just dropping little videos here and there. For those of y'all who don't have me on Instagram or Twitter or anything, follow me on that, you know what I'm saying? Ayo Des, you know what I mean? Or Des funny as fuck, you know what I'm saying? On Twitter. But my grandmother had passed away 4 days after my birthday. April 29th, and so I wanted to make a video after, you know, her service and things like that. But what's crazy, I can't remember if I told y'all, but just like with my grandpa Chris, I was thinking about my grandmother earlier that morning. I was just thinking about her all morning, and I was like, you know what, I want to start doing story times talking about Granny, but then also I really wanted to do a video about Alzheimer's, you know, and about talking about that and what you can do with your loved ones and things like that. But all day I was just thinking about her. All day, you know, it's just like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and start. And then my mom called me later on that night. It was like 8 o'clock, and she told me that my grandma had a heart attack and she was in the hospital. My grandmother was a nonverbal Alzheimer's patient, and she didn't walk anymore, she didn't eat anymore. So we were really worried that Granny was in there by herself. Praying, just hoping that, you know, she's not feeling alone. That was my number one thing. I just hope she doesn't feel alone and scared because she's by herself. I'm sleeping, and then my mama called me. It was like 4:30 in the morning, 4:45, something like that. And when I realized it was my mama, I already knew. I kind of already knew what it was. I answered, and she told me that, you know, Granny wasn't here. With my granny, being that she had Alzheimer's for so long, at first, like it was like a weird feeling. It was like a gut punch, like, you know, that she's gone. But then it was nothing. It's just like, I'm gonna miss her, but she's not suffering anymore. She can express herself now. I feel like I kind of went through the stages fairly quickly. And so with the Kubler, you know what I'm saying? Somebody let me know how you say it. But the Kubler-Ross model, aka the 5 stages of grief, is basically a series of emotions experienced by terminally ill patients prior to death, or, like in my case, like what the video is about, people who have lost a loved one. So the first one, denial, isolation. So for me, it was kind of like unreal. Granny's actually gone, you know. And with the coronavirus, it's kind of isolation already. But I went back to sleep, and I woke up, you know, I had already told my boss, and I asked if I could just put it in a day, because I just knew I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. And I called my friend over so I can, you know, have somebody with me. Shout out to my best friend, John. And that made me feel good. So that was one. Just couldn't believe that, you know, she was actually gone. And then after talking to Jar and everything, I was still kind of isolated, kind of still by myself. I don't want to be by myself. I didn't feel like doing anything. Number 2, anger. So then I was mad at the Alzheimer's disease just altogether. It's like, man, she couldn't even live her life. Her last few years, you know, she was dependent on others, and it was just that really, I was really upset with that. Like, you know, like, she didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve to go out like this. That was my number one. That was my number one thing. Like, you know, I was angry because she didn't deserve to go out like that without no family around, you know, having these last few years with Alzheimer's. My grandmother didn't deserve that, you know. Nobody deserves it, but my granny really didn't deserve that. And so then, you know, I'm thinking, if only back then I would have called more. Which is crazy, I used to call every day, you know. If you knew me back in college, I used to always call my granny every day, 3-4 times a day. Even then, like, man, maybe I should have called even more, you know. If only we were giving her coconut oil. That's what they say also is good for Alzheimer's and dementia. You know, if only we were giving her that before and kept up with 1 teaspoon a day. If only we could have prolonged this. And then depression, I just felt really sad. And it was just weird because I was just feeling like, you know, not trying to feel selfish with it because she's no longer suffering, you know. But I didn't feel like doing anything. Honestly, sometimes I still don't. Lay down. That's why I was just like, today just get up, put on a dress. I don't want to be lazy, but go come outside, open up. I need to sage my house. It's just a lot. I buy food. I don't feel like cooking. Wait till the last minute to eat. That. And then finally, acceptance, It was just that, to me, in my way, the acceptance, she's in a better place. She's transitioned into another part of her journey. And I'm really, honored to have had her, here with me for the time that I had it. Because, with one thing, honestly, I really learned that everything really happens for a reason. And that's why I'm trying not to trip now, because, when I was younger, I used to really hate that I wasn't raised by neither one of my parents. My mama went to college and then was in Texas getting her life together. And my daddy, he was in Louisiana, but I never really saw him like that. My grandmother raised me, and back then I used to hate, not having parents, not having a mom for Muffins Day or a dad for Donuts Day. Looking back at it, I lived with my grandmother. I was raised with my grandmother and my auntie, my great-great auntie, who was my granny's auntie, TC. I was raised by them, until I was 9 years old, and I moved to Texas with my mom. And then every summer, every Christmas, I was going out there to be with my granny. And I'm grateful. Everything happens for a reason, that I had that experience with them. I would not change anything. It's a different type of love when you know somebody who don't. She's not my mom. Yeah, that's my grandmother, but some grandmothers, she truly raised me like I was one of her own. She was always thinking about me. Always. I'm actually surprised, I'm okay. I still can't believe she's gone, That was really my best friend. It was even cool. Not only am I honored to have her as a grandmother, because she's just my best friend and such a good person. But to hear and see everybody talking about her, how sweet she was to them, treated everybody with respect. And even if she didn't like you, she was gonna keep her words to herself and just stay away. To hear how people felt warm around her, she welcomed people, She was the pool lady. Everybody used to be up at the pool. And those are memories that I love that I have, So, due to the coronavirus, right, we had to have only 10 people seated in the service. And honestly, everything worked out. My cousins who weren't the 10 in the actual service, the door was open, so they were able to see. I flew down from Texas. And also due to the coronavirus, we were spaced out, so we couldn't even console each other like that. We could only reach over and grab each other. It was rough. I helped set up the camera for Zoom. My family who couldn't be there still showed their respect to Granny. They were there watching it. And my grandfather got what he wanted. He said that he wanted to be with Granny forever. And so my papa passed away back in 2017, and they built his tomb. My family, we from the country. We does this, okay? My uncle, my cousin, they put together the tomb, and then they did it again for Granny. And so it's like a pretty white tomb for both of them. So they're together forever. After the funeral, we had a repast at the house, only limited to family. And what's pretty cool is right across the street used to be my grandmother's best friend, Miss Eva. So I went across the street to speak with my best friend, Ari. And her dad was there. And her dad is one of the supervisors over the nurses and everything, oversees everything at the hospital. And when I went to go talk to him and say hello, he told me that he was actually there that night when Granny was admitted into the hospital. He was walking, doing his rounds, and he saw, one patient, it was some ruckus or whatever. He looked in the room, and it was a patient like fighting off the nurses. And then he just looked at him and said, that lady looks familiar. So he went and looked at her chart and saw that it was my grandmother. He noticed her name. And so he goes in the room, he's like, Miss Puggy. And Puggy is my grandmother's name, right? Her name was Puggy, and then her brother's name is Snooky, Uncle Snooky. And so he said that she stopped and looked at him. She was just calm. And he told her, baby, they just want to fix you up. They just want to clean you up. They're going to run some tests. We're going to take care of you here. You in good hands. I got you. And she was good. She was at peace. She was calm. And then he said that he saw her in the hallway. And he said, hey, Miss Puggy, how you doing? She looked up to find him. He's like, you doing all right? And she just nodded her head and then kept it moving. Everything happens for a reason. The way God, the universe, aligned to where he was going to be there at that time, see her, and make her confident. That was my number one fear, was that she didn't feel alone. And she didn't. So that's what I try to have, even when I'm going through the cycle and everything. When I'm angry, I'm trying not to be angry. My grandmother, at least to me, she left peacefully. She left, although she didn't have us there. She knew she was loved, and she knew that people was taking care of her. So I'm grateful that I made memories with my grandmother that I can keep. We need to give people their flowers while they're here. So I appreciate y'all for watching. Kind of all over the place, but try to my head, not my heart. Hell, maybe even both. I feel like that's what's all. Everything's just, I don't know. I won't say it gets better, but be able to manage it. Cause there's still days, my auntie Teeth has been gone for 11 years, and some days I still cry. Those are really my best friends, man. If I wasn't with Granny, I was right around yonder at TC house. People say I got an old soul. I was raised by old folks. That's it, y'all. I'm gonna get my videos together, y'all. I promise. I'm gonna get it together. Give me some time. Oh, that's a wasp, my nigga. Or a bee. Oh, no, but I'm about to get the fuck out of here. Oh, yeah, no, bed. There's something I don't mess with. I don't mess with shit that stings or shit that bites. Oh, no. I appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe if you fucks with me. And I'll fuck with y'all in the next video. Bye.